Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we are live at a scene right now with our very own Amarachi Uche, who is standing by with details about a house fire that took place in Lenoir County. Here is Amarachi. Amarachi, give us the latest on the status of the home behind you and maybe traffic around the area.
Yeah, Charlie, I've been out here since about 7 a.m. and it's just been continuous first responders coming in and out, trying to fight this house fire. Now, I'm going to step out the way just so you can see a little bit of it, but this is the side of the home actually that I'm showing you here. Earlier when I went live, I showed the front that has extensive damage. The house is deemed a total loss, as well as 3 vehicles and 2 outbuildings on this side. Again, I'm going to step out the way just so I can show you a zoomed in of the damage here. Now, this is off of Pool Road here in Lenoir County, and again, this is the side of the home. We're going to zoom in here a little bit. You can see some of the damage done on the vehicles I was just talking about, as well as the outbuildings. Now, when crews arrived early this morning around 6:30 a.m., they saw heavy smoke, and the power line as well was damaged with the fire that caused some sparking, which prohibited them from being able to fight the fire for a little bit. Luckily, they were able to get in, but again, the house is deemed a total loss. This is the side. I'm going to show you a little bit of the front area as crews are still here working on that fire. Now, Charlie, what we do know is 2 of the homeowners in there were injured in this fire. They both went to the hospital. One has a burn injury and the other one has smoke inhalation. Other than that, there were no other injuries, no deaths, thankfully. So again, crews are still out here now. Pool Road, where the house is just off of, was closed off for about an hour and a half. The road, one side of the road has opened up now, so people are able to come through, but take it slow is what crews are saying out here. Again, they're going to be out here for a little while as they continue to investigate the cause of this fire, as it's still under investigation. But again, I've been out here seeing just the extensive damage. When I first arrived, smoke was high in the sky, Charlie, and so that has been controlled now. But the question now is what caused this fire, and we're going to continue to follow that story as we learn more. Reporting live in Lenoir County, Amarachi Uche, WITN News.
Amarachi, thank you so much for, again, your reporting out there. We will check back in with you potentially later on today on the status of that fire. Now, again, we do have other stories we want to bring to your attention. One out of Winterville, where a 19-year-old is now behind bars facing child sex crimes. 19-year-old Christopher Tyndall was arrested on Tuesday. Arrest warrants say Tyndall is accused of exploiting and engaging in sexual activity with a child who was around 7 years old. Tyndall is charged with first-degree statutory rape, first-degree sexual exploitation of a minor, and indecent liberties with a child. He was taken to the Pitt County Detention Center, where he remains under no bond. His first court appearance is set for Wednesday. And now we also want to check in on the national search for Nancy Guthrie. It's now going on 2.5 weeks from last contact with Nancy. NBC's Liz Kreutz has the latest on the search.
This morning, the Pima County Sheriff says DNA found at Nancy Guthrie's property could belong to the suspect behind her disappearance.
We believe that we may have some DNA there that may be our suspect, but we won't know that until that DNA is separated, sorted out. To me, that's more critical than any glove I found 2 miles away.
Sheriff Chris Nanos says DNA analysis of that glove came up empty, no hits in the FBI database, and no match with what was found at the property. But investigators are pursuing a number of other potential angles, including what the sheriff describes as the suspect's unique-looking gun holster and new details seen in the surveillance video from Nancy's front door, like this. A ring appears to be showing through the suspect's glove.
Have you noticed that the suspect may have a ring on, like something that looks like a class ring?
I look at the same photo you look at, and I see it. I see people have circled and said,
yeah,
I'm going to give that to my team. They'll look at that.
As the search continues, the sheriff saying he believes the suspect had a target in mind.
I think this was an individual who had a target for whatever reason, and he has made it tough, but I've got some pretty tough investigators too.
It's now been more than a week since authorities released that doorbell camera video. Sheriff Nanos says Google is still working on retrieving additional footage from other Nest cameras on Nancy's property, though it's a complicated process, adding that several other private companies, including Meta and Apple, have offered help.
I think a lot of that is Today Show. You know, you're in everybody's family. So they look at this and look at Savannah and go, this is us.
As the community continues to rally in support, outside our affiliate, KVOA, tributes growing on the banner, which reads, "Bring her home."
And again, that was Liz Kreutz reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast. It's going to be a warm day today, already starting out in, well, currently in the low 60s right now in New Bern. 63 degrees currently. 63, and we're still at 9:06. It is going to be toasty this afternoon. Now, the cloud cover, again, is going to be getting thicker as we head through the day. There will still certainly be some sun breaks as we head into the afternoon. But again, we're not going to be seeing completely blue sunny skies out there later on today. It's going to be, at best, a mix of blue and gray with, I think, actually a tendency to lean more gray there. But winds are going to be stealing the show. Air temperatures are going to rise because of the strong breeze that will be present across the east. In fact, right now, again, we're already seeing temperatures climb into the low 60s across some of our more southern counties. Winds currently blowing in at about 7 to 15 miles an hour. These numbers could get upwards around 20 miles an hour later on this afternoon. Here's a look at noon wind speeds. These are sustained winds, and again, up around that 20 mile per hour range. It is going to be a breezy day. Wind gusts upwards around 30 miles an hour, possibly up to 35 along the coast. It is just going to be windy, windy, windy. Now, coming up for tomorrow, we're going to see kind of the exact opposite. Winds are going to be much calmer. Air temperatures will still be relatively high, likely getting into the upper 60s tomorrow afternoon. And then on Friday, winds really return out of the south to give us a little bit of an extra boost as we head towards the weekend. Of course, we are looking at rain showers showing up, not for this afternoon, but coming up for tomorrow and again on Friday. Light to scattered showers expected as we head through your Thursday. But for today, cloud cover going to be just that. Cloud cover, not going to be giving us any sort of raindrops across the east. That obviously changes tomorrow, but we're not looking at a deluge, just light, off and on scattered raindrops that won't amount to much. We're looking at about 1/4 of an inch of rain or less for tomorrow's system. Do want to say good morning to Sue Ann Woody along with Juan Garcia and Bernice Davis. Thank you guys so much for joining me over on Facebook. But let's take a closer look at some of those raindrops rolling in on Thursday. Again, pretty much moving from west to east across the east. Not a whole lot there. Again, you saw maybe a few little spots of green, but certainly nothing that you should go changing your plans over. Friday, another opportunity for maybe a few spot showers rolling through, but most of us, again, likely trending dry versus wet. That will change over the weekend as we get a stronger system into the east that will knock air temperatures down as we head into next week. That area of low pressure that's going to be doing that right now over Southern California. That area of low pressure between LA and Las Vegas, that one will bring about some colder air to eastern North Carolina as we head into Monday and Tuesday of next week. Before this weekend, it will be delivering heavier rain showers, more widespread rain to the east. So that's something, again, we're going to continue to track. But for now, does not look like we're going to be seeing any sort of severe weather as that system rolls through. 77 degrees on Friday, turns to 64 on Saturday, 55 on Sunday, 46 on Monday. So we're going to be dropping by quite a bit from Friday into Monday. Classic eastern North Carolina change up there. We'll be feeling like spring is upon us on Friday. We're going to feel like we're back in the winter months on Monday, which we will still be in the winter months on Monday. It's just a little spring preview coming up here over the next few days, today included. That's all we have time for today's 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by ENC Pirate.